little bit every day. I can't wait. And Sam, what you just said is the messages are key. I'm going to kick it over to Susan LaBelle because she is just like all of us. We all started somewhere. We all have the same thing in our hands. And she has, grown a beautiful business over the last few years. And we're like almost sisters in coaching. We've been doing this for, gosh, I don't know, Susan, has it been 10 years? I can't even remember, but she's going to show you like, what do you do when you have the people that you're connecting with and you're messaging and you've created these really beautiful, authentic conversations? How do you take it to the phone, to actually having that call where you can listen to them and hear them? And so she's going to, would anyone love to be like, okay, what does that actually look like? Susan, take it away and show them like, so now that they've got the people, they've got these relationships building, how do they move that to impacting a life and helping someone get started?
Okay, amazing. Thank you, Dawn. Allison, Tanya, Sam, you guys rocked that. Can we give some love in the chat to how incredible? Because if you do that well, right, and consistently, people are going to start asking. That's what's so exciting. We are going to awaken people, and that's why we do it. We break through so other people can have breakthrough. And then here, if we can all just, if you write nothing down from what I share, I'm going to get right into this because learning this foundational skill and really the simplicity of it, of bringing all interest gets brought to the phone. If you write nothing down, take out your mind today and write all interest and underline all, gets brought to the phone. That's truly how simple this is. And the reason for that is really a decision on our end, like a posture, a professionalism. It is in our candidates, our client coach, potentials best interest, okay, to get on a phone call with them. It's their next step so we can serve them well, okay? I don't compromise on that because I want to serve them well. So this will be this first thing you'll want to tweak is, have you had talked to a lot of people? But the question really becomes, have you actually not just had a conversation, but you've had the conversation? Okay, so maybe you've talked to people, but have you actually scheduled a time to find out what their goals are, their why, before we answer all the hows and whats? Because I guarantee sometimes the question they reach out with is, what are you doing? How much does it cost? Like a what and a how question. And our reaction can sometimes be, we want to answer what they're asking, but we want to not have a reactionary business, but a very intentional creation business to say, I want to serve them well. And my next step is to schedule a time with them to find out what they want, why they want it, before I get into all the what's in the house. Why we do this is because, one, it's professional. Two, it's going to awaken them first, right? It's going to help bring a lot of clarity and really going to simplify this process for you. You will just know at what step you are with them. So back to our hot list, we're talking in this upper right quadrant, right? The people we're looking to set up health assessments with. Thank you, Allison. You gave such clarity to how we utilize this. And we are just in process of helping people set that next step, because when you have a conversation, whether it is a health assessment or a coach explore, we set the time, right? Because it's professional. You have clarity whether their next step is to start up or our next step is to follow up, right? So that is really the desire. So the question then becomes, but Susan, what do I say? Like, how do I put it? And just like Tanya, I love how you said you found your voice over time with social media. You'll find your voice too of your kind of response to people that reach out. But if you go to your app and you go to identify an approach, and you scroll down to step 3, there is a whole list of verbiage to assist you to get into this process. It gives you verbiage on how to respond to the what does it cost, how to respond to people that maybe didn't take your initial invite to a phone call, like how you would follow up from that. It's all right here. So I just want to guide you to the tools you already have to assist you. But mine's as simple as like, oh, I'm so glad, you reached out. Like, are you asking for yourself or someone else? And they're usually like me. And then perfect. Let's just connect. I'd love to pop on a quick phone call, find out what your goals are and see if what I do is a match. Like I have today at 1 or tonight at 5. Do either of those work for you? That's kind of my what works for me. Same as when I'm out and about. So nothing's different because all interest, phone, messenger, birthday party, if I'm in person and someone starts asking me questions, I don't get caught up in answering all their what's and hows. I find out if there's interest there and I go, hey, great, you know what, actually, are you on Facebook? Let's connect. I'm going to send you a message when we get home because I want to set up a time to find out more about you, your goals, and then I'm happy to share and answer all your questions, and we'll see if what I do is a match for your goals. And they're like, cool. And then we can just go on with the birthday party. So all interest gets brought to the phone. All right, so here's how we go pro in this area is master of our schedule. Lori set us up so well last week because you'll want to offer times that are available to you, right? So you will know your schedule so well, it's so easy to invite people in. It's so easy. It's not just when you want to connect. It's I have here and here so they can choose, and it moves the dial forward quicker. You will activate these reach outs by everything Allison and Dawn just shared, by learning the skill set of working a post. So again, I want to guide you on the app. You go to Social Media Accelerate, and there's an amazing training by our own Dawn Chow here on how to work a post. So bringing all those likes and comments to your hundreds list, moving them over to your hot list, moving them to a phone and a conversation. There's a whole training if you're still like really honing in this skill set of how to do that. So I just want to guide you there. And then use your hot list, right, on who to follow up with. This is a great place. All the people that you're still inviting to a health assessment or a Coach Explore have their name here. So it's super, super clear. All right, so with that, I'm going to actually bring on Sage. I'm so excited for her to come off and share. Sage is a newer coach, and when she started right around COVID time, she is a full-time nurse, probably 50 hours a week. She is a single mom of 3 kids, and she had 4 legit side gigs. Like, we laugh because 4 actually paid side gigs. And so I love that when she sent me her schedule, we navigated real quickly. She was having a lot of conversations, but not the conversation. Not enough of the conversations were actually scheduled time to fill out health assessments. I feel like we tweaked that in her first month. She stayed kind of at senior coach her first couple months. And then that 3rd month, she's like, really want to grow. So the next question really became, where are we putting it into your schedule? Like, where are we finding time? So she became very intentional, and she's cleared up all her, side gigs, right? This is what she's doing very intentionally. So she has a clear schedule. And so first it was the skill set of bringing it to a phone. Then it was finding the time to bring it to the phone. And I shared this snapshot of yesterday because we were preparing for today. And I was like, hey, Sage, when can you connect tomorrow? She sent me a screenshot of her day and said, here's my windows. Like, Susan, I'm working here. I've got this health assessment. this is what I got with my kids. And like, she knows her windows of time, which makes it very easy for us to work together as well. Okay. So Sage, I'd love for you to come off because the question became, you're like, I want to grow and your life is full, but you were like, the question was how could you, like, how would you, if we could, how would we? So Sage.
Absolutely. Hi, thank you, Susan. Thank you guys for letting me share. It's just so funny to think about. I mean, I can't believe that was only 6 months ago or so that I started. And just like Susan said, I mean, my life was so full. I pretty much had to schedule using the restroom, like anything. I'm sure many of you can understand that. Like, this is looking back at my February calendar. Like, this is what this looked like. It was like just so full of so much stuff. So when I started with this, I was so excited about it. But I sent a lot of those messages that were like, hey, I'd love to talk, let's talk. And then they'd be like, well, what about today? Well, what about, and we'd go on forever without having something specific. Like Susan said, I had 4 side gigs. In fact, when I first started talking with some of the people with Optavia, they were like talking about, oh, I just got Instant Cart today, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, me too. And then I realized they were talking about the delivery and not actually the job. I was talking about the job. It was one of my jobs at the time. Like Susan said, I'm a nurse. I was doing painting and Instant Cart and user testing and all these things. So finally, when it got clear for me, when I really realized the potential of what this could be for me, instead of just trying to make it work and trying to like fit it into my, schedule and react to the situations, I actually became intentional and organized and became just, started to be able to create my own success with it. That's when it switched for me. Everything switched for me. And that's when I started to realize how amazing it was to work with Susan, and to be able to really use my support team to that advantage. I started being able to be super clear with my rocks, as we've been talking about. and making sure that I was very intentional with the people I was talking to. I was very, very clear with my client support, like Susan said, and sent those very direct messages of, I'm available tomorrow between 12 and 1 or 4 and 5. What is best for you? I started making changes to even my approach with just the specific texts, and got very clear again with my schedule. And then also, I thought it was really important. I would tell them, hey, this is my phone number. Can you send me yours on your next response? And that way, like, I had their number. If it was hard, if we were going through Messenger and I noticed they weren't on Facebook very much, I was able to get them to the phone, at least through text, and then get them on the phone from there. And then, I thought about it as a nurse. I have a lot of times where I get messages from my patients that are like, oh my gosh, I work with maternity patients and their babies. And they say, oh, my baby has this going on. Do you think I should do this, this, and this? Well, I can't say anything, over the phone or over email to them, because I don't know the whole situation. I don't know what's going on exactly. I don't know what their needs are. I don't know all the side pieces of what the whole picture. Once I get on the phone with them, I can ask them the appropriate questions, what's happening exactly. And then I can go through the process and kind of help them to diagnose or to do next. Same thing with our people, you guys. Like, we have to be able to get to the phone with them to say, like, what are your goals? Because we know their goal is not their goal is not to just be able to to lose 20 pounds. It's to actually gain self-worth. It's to help them to understand, their and gain confidence. So I just am so grateful for Susan's support in helping me to be able to get intentional, to create my success by getting organized. And that's just made all the difference in the world from my experience in my business so far.
I love it. Professional, clear, simplified your life actually to know where your times are. And you can take a screenshot of this too. These are some of my messages out to people. And you can see on this one on the far right here, sometimes, you invite them to a call and then you invite them again. And then they're like, can you just send me info? And I invite them again because it's so hard for me to know what to send. Do you have a quick window? Like, I am consistently setting up what is in their best interest for me to help move them forward to their goals. And you can see sometimes I add in some love. I love how Allison put that into hers. Like, hey, I love your family pics. Happy 4th of July. Like, I'm continually loving on them in a personal way. Still no response, right? Don't take that in any way other than people have full lives too. And then eventually there's that invite and they're like, yep, I'm calling you tonight. So you can see just staying consistent with your follow-up. So with that, everyone raise your right hand. All interest is brought to the phone. Can we all say that? All interest. So simple. Simplify your life. Know where you can fit it in. And the rest is gold. All right. I'm going to pass it back to Laura.